Hello, I'm Dan Robinson with FPTV, and I am happy to be here with people who are representing Hill Records. What is Hill Records, you may ask? Well, we're going to find out. And we're going to start off by introducing ourselves. You guys let us know your names and what band you're with.
Gotcha. My name is Chandler Bernard. I'm the songwriter for the solo project Foxpaw.
I'm Pat Ryan Key, aka Pat Ryan Key.
Nice.
I'm Dillwell.
Yeah, and I'm Sam Bird, and together
we're Head Canon.
We're Head Canon.
Yeah.
Say it one more time.
Head Canon.
Head Canon.
Head
With
Canon.
a 3 for an E.
Nice. So, and then you guys are working with Hill Records, right?
That's right.
That's correct.
So tell me about Hill Records.
So Hill Records is a student-run record label. It's one of the few in the country that's working right now. That's made mostly of University of Arkansas faculty and students. And then so their search for musicians turned this motley crew up from the great state of Arkansas.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
So it's a university-based record label.
That's correct.
That's right.
And then, so that gives students the opportunity to be a part of that process of learning about
That's correct.
what a
All
record
the way
label is?
from journalism, communications, music industry, music, everything is really centered on collaboration.
Right.
Yeah,
And
collaboration's key.
And it's not just like an assignment kind of thing. I mean, it's definitely a fully functional record label on its own. It just happens to be, students and faculty, right, for the purpose of educating.
Nice.
And they do a good job.
So can you describe your genre for me?
So for me, I do probably what would be described as, I guess, alternative folk music or non-traditional folk music, kind of taking those folk traditions from, the southern United States that I grew up in and kind of turning it on its head a little bit.
Nice. I don't know how to follow that up. I'm just soul blues and R&B but this is kind of a new sound, so I don't know what the next product will be, but it's been fun kind of exploring different genres and sounds, and I really enjoyed making this last record, so I'm excited to be a part of Hill and see what we can do together.
Nice. And how about Head Canon?
So basically, what we do is we take pop punk vocals, rap hooks, and a little bit of electronic basic production. Just trying to come up with an amalgam of different sounds. We're trying to put out a fresh take. I guess the easiest thing that you could say that we are is either electronic pop or hyper pop,
Like hyper
somewhere
pop,
around
art
there.
pop. It's definitely super catchy, kind of bubblegum. But, it's definitely a trope in hyperpop music to kind of speed up your voices to kind of get that, super hyped up effect, And we try to retain, our own full kind of bodied voices. And, we experiment with pitching and stuff like that. But, we wanted to have a namely not hyperpop sound, but still be taking aspects of pop music and, very commercial pop music and inflating it to kind of extremes that are sometimes even hilarious,
Yeah.
And so there'll be metalcore screaming and fast rapping and then sing-songy little, it's very action packed.
Something for everybody.
Oh yeah.
Nice. So far, how has working with Hill Records benefited you?
It's definitely opened my eyes to the different forms of promotion and reaching other audiences, just getting a whole fresh perspective and new insights to something that oftentimes I didn't even consider, I don't know about you guys, but
Yeah, for me, I don't ever really, being a solo project, I don't ever get to see behind the scenes, how it works with people who have a formal music education, a formal music industry education, how they form those connections. And they think differently than, the boots on the ground musicians do. And I really have enjoyed getting to see that perspective.
How about you guys?
It's been really neat, just meeting a lot of people, and what it's really helped us out with is just kind of getting our foot in the door at certain places. We've really only been a collaborative project for about a year, so this has all been pretty fast-paced for us, and we've gone and done solo stuff ourselves, but it's been really nice, just meeting the people, meeting the other musicians. It's really cool, and then also just the opportunities that came with it, podcast, this right here. It's been pretty swell.
Yeah, you pretty much wrapped it up nicely. The musicians were probably one of the best parts. And another thing, it's really nice to, working with students, right? And Hill Records is a relatively new project, of course. And even when things go wrong, everyone's super duper professional, and like everyone walks and talks like that you'd think they would if they were a record label, you know. And so it's good to see that. It gives me faith in them, and at the same time, it makes me feel like someone's taking this seriously. That makes me feel good, you know.
Yeah.
It's been good because of that, I think.
Nice. So if someone in the community was like, man, I want to be a part of this, how can they get involved with Hill Records?
I think they're doing like a call for submissions in the spring semester. So like, and that's not just only for if you want to be like a musician for that. They also have if you want to be, I think, on the staff as well. I think they're going to be doing like a call for submissions for that, or just like applications. So it's definitely some opportunities out there if people are looking for them.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I know that the local musicians around here are always looking for resources and new opportunities, and I think it's amazing that the university has created this program that is helping educate musicians and people who are not musicians who want to get involved in the industry. Like you said, it's so important to have people who are not musicians who are working for musicians
Right.
because we're busy being musicians. And so it's important to have people who are focused on the nuts and bolts and the promotion and all that stuff. But it's also important for you guys to be aware of that process so that you can give them the material they need and help with that promotion. So I think that's amazing. So how can people find you guys, your respective projects online?
So for me, you can, I'm looking at you guys, you can look me up on Spotify. It's Foxpaw, one word, Apple Music, anywhere else, as well as coming out soon will be the Hill Records compilation album. So you'll be able to find that soon as well, and that will have all of us on there. But yeah, look me up, Foxpaw, one word.
Sure, across the board, patryankey.com. Connected to the digital world that is today, we know, and Spotify and Apple Tunes. And
Pat, you've been on the scene for a while here in
Yeah.
Fayetteville. So
I'm probably blushing right now.
it's hard,
so-
it's hard to have lived in Fayetteville and not heard of Pat Ryan Key.
Much to other people's dismay, I assume. No, no, it's been fun. So like having graduated, and I'm not going to say when, but just seeing how the world has shifted since that time, and sometimes it can be a little over exhausting and trying to say what's the right move that I need to do, and having someone else from that different headspace to kind of give some direction has been a great resource for me personally. Just because it can get a little daunting when you need to figure out what's the right move to make, and you always hear, well, there's no right or wrong method, and
Right.
so learn as you go, and that's what was kind of more exciting for me, is that we're all in this together with Hill Records, and we're gonna learn together and grow together, and I personally like that myself, just because it's a more personal connection there. So
Nice. And then how do people find Head Canon?
Well, I mean, kind of the same thing. I mean, we're on all the streaming services, so Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, etc. We make a lot of noise on Instagram. We're really big there, very vocal there, and TikTok too, to a lesser degree. You wouldn't go to there to seek out our music necessarily, but there is a lot of our music on there. We're very active. But other than that, all the streaming platforms.
We also have headcanon.com.
Yeah. Head Canon.
That'll take you to just all of our links and whatnot. Has a cute little little summary overview of our whole mission statement and about us and stuff. So it's pretty cool.
The website's nice. There's
Nice.
stuff there.
Very cool. Well, I encourage you to check out all of these artists, and I encourage you to check out Hill Records to find out how you can get connected if you're interested in learning more about how a record label works, or if you are a musician who's wanting to get engaged with a local record label. Thank you guys again very much.
thanks,
Thank
Dan.
you.